And we are starting with the first founding of dogs, the original dog. And this skeleton is around 7,300 years before Christ. And you see a little paint how the dog looked like too. What they think they looked like. And then we are going to Swedish oldest face, 10,000-year-old face. They have restored and remade. And this is a man in, well, he's living in a lovely cave out in the forest.
This reminds me the time now Mr. Blackton of phase 4.
And he was around 60 years old, 175 centimeters long. And he had problems with his teeth and they were really pushed down. He was found in Ulricehamn and he got some tooth infections too. But he was a strong man, living and eating the food inside the landscape. And at the side here we can see some tools they were using at that period, with Simon in the background. And he has blue-gray eye too, and was light in his skin. So in the year 10,000 we were white. Before that we were brown. And this one is a throwing spear. The end of it, how they looked like and how they were pushing through. And this type is 7,000 years old. And it's made out of moose and deer bones and some flintstones too. And now we are going further on and we are going to the place Simon doesn't like, because here we have a skeleton sitting. And they were sitting up like this, dressed in skin out of pigs or cows. And they were decorating them with pearls and other nice stuff. But they were sitting and facing upwards. And this is a replica on how the graves could look like on the inside, because these stones monuments were made to have many people buried inside sometimes in the long way. They were for 6,000 years ago beginning to start the farms in Sweden in this area. And now we are going to one woman that was sacrificed. She was 19 years old, and this is her remains. And she was sacrificed in the late summer for 5,000 years ago, and her legs were tightened together as she was drowning in a small lake. Sacrificing people was something really good for the gods, even with axes and stones. And this is a replica on how she would look like today. Now we are going further on, don't you think so, Simon? So now we are going this is the area how it would look like for many thousands, 5,000 years ago in this area. Simon thinks it's really nice.
This was just normal.
Yes, but it was 5,000 years ago. And this is small houses and farms, and you can see the stones around the area where people have their landscapes and cows and pigs and sheep, goats. And here we have one more helicopter, how they will look like sometimes inside the remains.
But why did you say that?
Here we have some flint stones. How they were using, they were really thin. And this is foundings from the hell coffin. So it's a spear. And they found a lot of things in the hell coffins. And here is from the, I don't know the name in English, Gongrift. And they have found many small stuff. Necklace, one ring, and it's made out of 3 rings putting together. And if you're looking really close, you can see some animals' heads, and it's really decorated. And it's from 500 years after Christ. This is a copy of the real one. And the other one beside is 500 years after Christ, and it's not that nice as the other one. And then we have some golden rings from the Iron Age. And it's really lovely. And some other stuff too. It's really decorated with heads all over. Here is a replica on a Viking sword. And some spears. We have a lot of spears all over, but this one is 2 different kinds. And we have a shield heart. I don't know the name in English. We have a lot of different buckles. Between 350 to 500 after Christ, they were sacrificing a lot of war offering in the water in Falköping. In the foundings to the gods, they were sacrificing horses, guns, and other practical equipment was offering in the waters. One part of the gold details on the horses' equipment is outstanding. Many are made out of gold, and a part of their the horses were about 137 centimeters in their height of that time, and they have gathered that information by looking at the horses' equipment. And they were even finding equipment for horses in gold, even for the... So everything on the warriors were in gold. are showing a little part on how they were making their weaver ink to make fabric. And it took a really long time. At the other side we are finding some more rings and a sword and other stuff. At this side we find a lot of rings, iron rings. At this side we also found a lot of iron rings. This one is one of the oldest foundings of fabric clothing in Sweden, and it's from around the year 360 until 100 years before Christ. And it's a hole through it too, and they were thinking it's probably the death by an arrow. And they found it on the ground with stones on top of it. And some of the stones are at the side too, showing how it looked like when they found it. And it was in 1920 they were founding these 3 stones up on this fabric. It's amazing. And you can see the fabric. It's also brown-ish, and they had a different weaver style than later on, but still it's really lovely for that kind of age. And now we are going further on, and they were showing some elf things, the elf's homes that we are talking in another video about. And some remains of the dog. In 1935 they were digging up in Gökhem, and they were finding one underjaw and a couple of bones from a woman lying until a part of a dog. The woman was 20 years old and 153 centimeters. And it was from 400 before, after Christ she was living. And the dog was around 50 to 55 centimeters high, so around here. It's a big dog, really big dog. And we are going to stop here. You can visit this place. And at this place it's so much about Christianity, and it was around the year 1100 really start popping up more people and more churches in this area. And we are going to show it another time, so we are not going to show this area now, because it's a part of something else. The children place. Ooh! Do you see all the clothing?
Yep.
It's sparkling.
Yep. I want that pink one for you.
Should I put on the pink one? Well, we have to try, don't you think so?
Yep.
Yes. We are trying. Do you mean this one? I don't think this one will fit me, but we can try.